We're now being joined in the studio by Mr. Timothy Iwagu, who is a safety expert. Thank you so much for joining us on News Across Nigeria.
Thank you.
Now, in a space of 2 weeks, we have seen two major disasters. First was the building collapse at Ikoyi earlier this month, and now this one. How seriously do you think Nigerians take safety?
No, when you talk about how seriously Nigerians take safety, the situation in the country, the happenings around are a testimony to the seriousness of Nigerians when it comes to safety. But then, Nigerians are not supposed to be more serious about safety than the government that directs the affairs of the people. I think the seriousness of Nigerians is a function of the seriousness of the government. There are a lot of things that government should do in terms of training, certification, ensuring that those who are doing these things are actually competent enough to carry out what they are doing. Otherwise, incompetency can become accident. Incompetency can be translated into deaths, injuries, illnesses, and so on. So I think the country is a big country. We are recognized in the Committee of Nations. But when it comes inside here, we don't actually care about procedures and guidelines. So things are done just to quickly complete projects and make money. Some developers and landlords, before they finish building the house, they've already rented them out. So they want to speed up and go to the next project. So it's all about money, money, money.
Now, so there were reports, let's talk about the gas explosion.
Right.
There were reports earlier that the site, which was mapped out as Mechanic Village, was earlier sealed before somehow, surprisingly, it got reopened again before this incident happened. Do you know why this happened this way?
I think this is all about compromises. Like what I said, the government, agencies of government are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that compliance is monitored. And they have people driving around the town in the name of compliance, enforcement. But at the end of the day, you don't see that translating to real safety, because the place was sealed, and I believe those who sealed it, if you ask of them today, the government agency will tell you they can't even remember their names. So it is all about being lousy, being nonchalant, and doing the same old things and expecting new results. The people there were mechanics, and then they were involved in using welding cylinders and gases, acetylene and oxygen. And then sometimes they produce the acetylene by putting calcium carbide inside water. And then some people do not know this process. And if they don't know what to do, if they may produce very serious reaction that can be explosive. So how that issue happened, remember, initially, the report to the public was that the government, the fire was from a gas plant, an LPG plant. Information should be true and timely too. So when they said it came from an LPG plant, and there was no LPG outlet, retail outlet there, so you see that there was misinformation to the public.
Sure. Okay, so let's talk about the response pace. Many believe that when disasters happen in Nigeria, it takes a long time, sometimes hours, before first responders get to the site of these occurrences. I mean, why do you think this is happening often in this country?
It's happening because of preparedness. Preparedness is just what we can say can translate into the difference between life and death. If we do not expect calamities to happen every time, ordinarily, but there are provisions, budgetary provisions, infrastructural provisions, equipment that are meant to be put in place in anticipation of calamities, accidents, and incidents of this nature. So if the government has agencies to do this, are those agencies monitored? First responders have a duty, and that duty is beyond just working and earning salaries. It's about saving human lives. So first responders are supposed to have it as part of their policy to keep their vehicles, the personnel on standby to respond at the shortest notice.
Just before we go, what advice would you be giving to eyewitnesses who are always present at the scene of disasters? Quickly before we go.
Yeah, eyewitnesses. This is the era of internet, the cell phone, the social media. So people want to capture photos and of incidents and moments of such, and then just fly them about. Most of those at the site of incidents have no communication with the. They have no communication with the first responders. And so their own is take pictures, and you find out that the crowd there becomes part of the problem. Because when the crowd is so much, the first responder arriving may not have their way easily, even when they come early.
All right. Thank you very much. Safety expert, Mr. Timothy Iwago. I hope we will do better going forward. Thanks a lot for your time.
I appreciate it.